Hello, and well, we're gonna go over the new Israel DLC, and we don't have a lot of time, and we've got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. So in terms of logistics, there's nothing all too crazy, you really got everything that you need. In terms of command vehicles, you've got infantry, cars, APCs, tanks, and even a helicopter. And in terms of supply, we got ourselves a 40-point Hemmet and a 35-point Sea Stallion. Now, Israel has a rather robust infantry selection. You got militia infantry, line infantry, two different types of shock infantry, and elite infantry, the Sayat 13, which are rather cool because they do have an AKM, which is of course a red 4 weapon. You got some Stinger guys. You also got the Dorban LR, which do have a rather nice anti-tank guided missile for a rather reasonable price, and the Messias, which are infantry guys with a Mark 19 grenade launcher, kind of similar to the Czech AGS-17 squad. Now, when you get infantry transport, is where Israel starts to get very interesting. You get your rather standard stuff from Humvees and other cheap 5-point and 10-point trucks, but then you get to units such as the Zelda, which is an M113 for 5 points, but it has 3 bloody machine guns. And it doesn't stop here, you got the Nagaman Shon, which is 10 points, but it has 2 machine guns and 8 frontal armor. And then you got the Akazarit, which has 3 machine guns, 10 armor, and 15 points. And then it gets even more insane. The standard line infantry, the Roviats, can be brought up in a McCurva 2A, a full-on main battle tank equivalent to an M1AP Abrams, but it does have a grenade launcher, making it very good for dealing in enemy infantry inside a forest. And elite infantry, the Sayats, can come in a Nimrod, which is a Sea Stallion with some rather powerful long-range anti-tank missiles. So you do get some very nice vehicle selections for your infantry guys, but you don't have anything with an autocannon. Israel's AA is rather pathetic, to be entirely honest. You got some cheap Chaparrals, some standard Hawks, and some other cannon-based AA units. One notable run being the Macbeth, which is 60 points, having a pivot with a longer range cannon and Stinger missiles, pretty much the Blue 4 equivalent of the Chopel. Now, artillery is rather cool. You pretty much got all your bases covered. Some notable examples being the Macmat, a 50-point 160mm mortar in what seems to be just a giant box. The Mar 290, which is 4 290mm rockets on top of a tank and does 15 Ropin HE power. And LAR 160, which is your standard cluster munitions. Also, you have the Sholef, which is your heavy, super heavy artillery piece, which can dish out damage from a very long range of 35 kilometers. Israel does have all your tank bases covered, with some cheap tanks such as the PT-76, the Centurion, and some custom M60s, notable one being the Jimmel, which doesn't look like an M60, but I can assure you it is an M60. And of course we got the McCurva line of tanks, ranging from 65 to 180 points. You pretty much got a McCurva for all your needs. A notable one being the 3D Baz, which does have a very nice ATGM, good armor, good cannon, good rate of fire. It's just a very solid tank that can definitely fight toe-to-toe with those T-72BUs. And in a reconnaissance section, we do have the Maglan with a long-range ATGM and with a very good optics that is a rather scary combination, such as an Apache Longbow or the M3 Bradley reconnaissance vehicle. You got the Bedouins, which are a DMR squad, and a Turan S Blazer, which is a custom T-55. But one really cool thing is a HVMS, which is an M113 with a turret and cannon on top that does a whopping 29 rounds a minute, 11 AP, and 60% accuracy, making this great at plinking enemy light vehicles. The vehicle section is rather boring. You pretty much just got a lot of different ATGM vehicles. Two notable examples being the Hafiz and the Para, which do have a very powerful Spike NLOS missile. The only difference between the two is a slight accuracy buff and more missiles and some armor stuff. And of course we got ourselves the M51 Super Sherman, your crazy Israeli custom version of a World War II tank with a 105mm cannon, and this is rather decent against dealing with enemy light tanks. The helicopter section is also rather bland. We got ourselves a little bird of ATGM missiles, a Cobra with Stinger missiles, and an Apache with 16 Hellfires, which is pretty much exactly the same as the Netherlands version. Now the plane section pretty much has you covered. You've got bomber planes, interception planes, napalm planes, seed planes. A few notable examples being the Ram, which is a tactical bomber, which wasn't as good as it was before because tactical bombs have been nerfed. The Kafir C7, which has 1,400 kilogram bomb, kind of like half of a B5. And we've got the Baz Mafir, which is your rather standard expensive interceptor. Overall, Israel is a rather powerful faction, nothing I would condemn to be overpowered, mainly due to the fact their ground game is really powerful with their tanks and infantry, but they have some very bad AA units. So when you are playing against Israel in pretty much next to Reeds, that's what everyone's going to be playing. Try to get some helicopters and planes to blow them up from the air. They're definitely worth the $7 to $8, mainly due to the fact it's a completely new faction from a completely new continent with some very cool and fun units. And I'm going to leave it off at that. This has been another Rangaroo cover-up of the new DLC. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.